It is October 7th, 2022. This is
Speak
the
for
Wrestling
yourself.
Inc.
It's
podcast.
October 8th here, okay?
And tonight, 4 hours of wrestling on a Friday. It is the end of the week. Everybody is looking forward to the weekend, partying. And tonight we had 2 hours of SmackDown, 2 hours of AEW, pre-gaming for tomorrow night's Extreme Rules. Issa, are you pumped?
Yeah. Butch.
Let's get lit.
I'm extremely excited for Extreme Rules. I think it's going to be a fun pay-per-view. It feels like Extreme Rules. Tonight just felt very unnecessary. Why couldn't they just do Battle of the Belts instead of Rampage? Like, I don't know. I don't know that anything was accomplished in those 2 hours, but I enjoy SmackDown. And I am excited for Extreme Rules.
Alfred couldn't be here tonight. He's off spending time with his family.
With Byron Saxton.
Oh, good Lord. I showed my wife that clip the other night. I don't think I've seen her laugh that hard at me, in quite a while.
My mom saw it and we were talking about it. She's like, I don't think I ever seen the three of you not being able to just come back. And I was like, no, we laugh forever.
Yes. It made my wife laugh a lot. My wife, she's my rock in the sense that she always asks me questions, tell me it doesn't matter what my answer is, and she often raises her eyebrow at me.
Oh, but that's what wives are supposed to do.
It's true. It's true. Before we dive into everything, we have some news starting on a very sad note.
Yeah, yesterday it was announced by her mother that Sarah Lee, she was the winner of the last season that aired on the WWE network of Tough Enough, have passed away at the young age of 30. Cause of death has not been revealed to the public quite yet, but I mean, I believe she had 3 kids, very young babies. This is such a sad news in the world of professional wrestling. And I watched that season of Tough Enough. I actually found her quite lovable. And I just could not believe the news. She's a baby, 30 years old. You're a baby.
I know, it's so sad. That season is Tough Enough. I know I've talked about how NXT TakeOver was a big deal, TakeOver Brooklyn, and getting me into wrestling, but that season of Tough Enough was really my gateway. Even when I wasn't watching wrestling, I was watching Tough Enough, and that season's what got me to sign up for the WWE network. She just had the massive it factor on that show. Wrestled in NXT for I think a little over a year before going to start a family with Wesley Blake.
Yes.
And 3 children. So sad. No cause of death. She had posted to Instagram she was feeling better after battling a long-term sinus infection. But Bull Dempsey had posted a GoFundMe for her family, already well exceeding its goal.
The GoFundMe is probably the light note out of this whole tragedy. Is just seeing the names, the amount that people are donating, the wrestling, some talent owners, like a lot of people are coming together to donate to this GoFundMe, and it made my heart happy to see that it is exceeded what the goal was. Seems like probably within a couple of hours of it being posted.
So if you're able to contribute, please do. And our thoughts are with her family right now. So sad. Very bright light.
Also, thoughts and prayers with Mandy Rose and her family.
Oh, that's right.
There was something going on with her brother as well. I haven't been able to confirm what's going on with that, but I did hear that her brother passed away. So we're sending all of our thoughts and prayers to her and her family as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't much. Go for it, Issa.
No, I was just gonna say I don't know how we transition out of that, but I don't know if you watched Bound for Glory tonight. I watched it on and off. I had too much going on, but Fandango made his debut.
Yes.
On Bound for Glory, and the first person I thought about was you, because I was like, does this kill our Brisango against Pretty Deadly Dreams?
Well, Tyler Breeze was on the bump the other day, was he not?
Yeah, he was, but it would it be the same without Fandango?
It's tough call. And I mean, I love Fandango. I think, but it's also its impact. Like, Impact seems like they probably wouldn't have a huge issue. if he was doing a one-off
Yeah,
appearance
I
or a
see your
short-term
point
feud.
there. I see your point.
Better
I
for Impact,
personally
quite
thought
honestly.
I thought Impact delivered more than AEW tonight. Personally,
Really? Even
Bound
with the
for Glory.
controversial ending.
Yeah, yeah. Oh God, don't get me started on that ending. But Bound for Glory was a very, very fun show. The women really shined today. Mickey James and Mia Yim killed it. Jordan Grace and Masha Slamovich had a hell of a match. Like I really have fun watching Bound for Glory. Yes, I was watching like four things at once. Don't ask me how.
But how?
I had all kinds of screens going on. I was watching the MLB playoffs, SmackDown, and then Rampage, and then Battle of the Bells, and Bound for Glory as well. And
Wow.
I was doing my stream.
That is crazy. I was watching wrestling, ate a burrito.
Oh,
You know what I tried? I can't remember what the name of the pepper is. I have to look this up. I tried Orizaba, which is a chain out here, has like these hot
okay.
oranges. But I
Mm-hmm.
never heard of this pepper before. I have to look it up again. Let's see. Oh, I'll find it out. But it was like a hot orange, and that like blew my
Okay.
mind. That was
Oh,
keeping
you
me
liked
awake.
it.
I did like it because it started very sweet and then it was hot, but then it was over quickly, which was actually kind of nice. Because you know how sometimes when you eat hot food, your mouth is on fire
Yeah.
for an hour
Yeah.
afterwards. And I actually really appreciated that this was like, hot, gone, done, everything's fine. It was
I don't
nice.
do anything spicy, but I heard some
Really?
stories. Yes, I don't. Even right now, I can't just because of my stomach condition. But even before then, I didn't eat any spicy foods.
That is very interesting.
Yeah. Let me know if you find the name of the pepper. But while you look for it, I will give you our last news item for today. John Moxley has re-upped his contract with All Elite Wrestling. It looks like he has re-upped his contract 5 years, and not only as a talent, but it looks like he's moving on to also a coaching slash mentoring role, which I think makes perfect sense. He's done a lot recently. He stepped up when he needed to. I'm happy for Mox. I think Mox is the perfect fit for AEW. What do you think?
No, I think this is great for Mox, and I think this is smart on their part, announcing some level-headed locker room leadership that is going to be in place. Because if you look at not only the brawl out situation, but Andrade versus Sammy Guevara, I mean, I think it's very important for them to say like, "Hey, we've got some really like." Actually, it's funny to say that Mox, the lunatic fringe, as he was once known, is like the level-headed locker room leadership.
Yeah, he's unhinged though.
He is unhinged. But hey, you didn't hear about those things, when he was in WWE.
No, I think he's great, and I think what he's done as of recently speaks a lot about his dedication to this company.
No, absolutely, absolutely. So no, I
So
think
good for
him getting
Moxley
extension, that's
securing
great
that
for him.
bag for Renee and their baby. Happy for him.
Yes, absolutely. Arbol oranges is what's called the Arbol pepper, ARBOL.
Oh, Arbol like three.
Yes, yes. It was
Okay.
very good, very tasty. Best thing I ate today. I gotta be honest. Those two AEW shows tonight were tough. SmackDown was good.
Completely unnecessary. I kind of feel like I wanted my 2 hours back. Like I wish you could get a refund for time.
I know Fast Five was on. Like, and then when I was getting ready to do the podcast, I was like, "Oh, Fast Five is on." The step up all in of the Fast and the Furious universe. I was like, I could go to watch Fast Five right now. No, I mean, here's the thing: SmackDown, good opening, great main event, but this, good tease build for tomorrow. But I think they kind of do this. So we talked about this before. I think they try and sync AEW sometimes by making the show a little harder to watch. So people at the end are like, you know what? I'm going to see what else is on. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
guess. I think the hype of the White Rabbit stuff in the middle of the show kind of didn't give me a down period of time for me with SmackDown today. I enjoyed it, but I'm also comparing it to what I watched after.
So we had some main roster debuts tonight. We had some minor seismic activity in the bloodline. We had the reemergence of an old character. We had a tease for a return tonight. A lot actually happened on SmackDown.
We had a giant rabbit walking around the arena.
Now, was that the Adam Rose rabbit costume?
I don't know, but there's a picture that you can see him coming from backstage. So this wasn't a fan. This was really planted by WWE.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think anyone goes to a WWE show in a rabbit costume. A rave, maybe.
People show up to Bad Bunny concerts in shark costumes.
Well, but that's, so that's my segue music now. That's how I segue between things. Let's talk about SmackDown, starting with Roman Reigns and Logan Paul.
Starting with Triple H.
I'll start with Triple H. That's true. Like, I was expecting, I was like, oh, what's Triple H out there to say? What's he out there to do? And it was just kind of like, welcome to SmackDown.
He was there to give us the QR code, Glenn.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Which
the first QR code tonight came from Triple H's mic when he welcomed us to SmackDown, and it led to a weird video package that kept saying, "Let me in, let me in, let me in."
I mean, it's pretty clear that tomorrow Joe Gacy is going to make his main roster debut.
Shut up. Don't freaking put that out into the universe. It's gotta be Bray. No.
Who knows? Who knows what's in store? Okay, we all know what's in store tomorrow. Like,
yeah,
this
okay,
is...
after Triple H, we moved on to my daddy. We talked about daddies last time, so... What? Now we need to figure out who your daddy is, Glenn.
We do. So Logan Paul and Roman Reigns faced off. Really, Logan Paul faced off with Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman. Good promos, but I'm sorry, Sami Zayn once again stole the show on this. When Roman and Jay were getting into it, Sammy trying to keep the peace between them. And I have to admit, I love that Roman Reigns could not keep a straight face during this. Yes. Like, his laughter was infectious. I don't think I've seen him as tickled during a promo as he was tonight when Sammy was talking.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very jealous of the effect that Sami Zayn has on Roman Reigns. If you want me to be honest with you. No, this was fun. Wait, what were you gonna say?
You just watch a lot of Seinfeld, and really like embrace New York Jewish culture. And I think you two can make Roman Reigns laugh.
No, I like this segment. I feel a little bit for Logan Paul here. Like, you just threw him with the sharks, with the biggest event that you have going on in WWE right now. I popped a little bit for the what chance because I don't know if you watched his podcast where Roman Reigns was on it, but he didn't know what a what chant was. So I am now declaring that the only time that it is okay to what is when Logan Paul is cutting a promo. I will allow it. I thought this went on just a little bit too long, and I didn't think it made a lot of sense based on the fact that we have Extreme Rules tomorrow, and these two guys are sitting there promoting Crown Jewel, I believe it is, the November pay-per-view. Didn't feel like we needed their appearances on the show tonight, and maybe save them for after Extreme Rules was over with. But I'm never going to complain about seeing Sami Zayn break Roman Reigns. Break him and get him out of character. I thought it was great.
Isn't it incredible? The Roman Reigns is not wrestling tomorrow, and the big draw tomorrow is the anticipated return of Bray Wyatt.
You think that's the big draw tomorrow?
I do. I think the other matches are good, but I'm looking at this like, okay, Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey. I'm very concerned for Liv in this match. I think Riddle versus Rollins will be a solid match. That and Cross and Drew, I think, will both be solid, but neither of those I think are on the level of a Roman feud would be. I do think Bianca and Alexa versus Damage Control will be a very good match.
I'm excited for it. I just think even outside of the Bray Wyatt tease, just because it feels like an actual real Extreme Rules pay-per-view. We've had so many Extreme Rules where we got one match with some kind of stipulation and the rest is just a regular pay-per-view. So I'm just excited to just see all these different stipulation matches on a card.
Pardon me. It's Bianca versus Bayley. It's for the Raw Women's Championship. Yep. But Alexa and Asuka are going to be with Bianca, and Damage Control is going to be with Bayley. So it's a 6-woman match, kind of.
Maybe Alexa gets kidnapped earlier on.
Maybe, and it would be weird, but I was like, the way that they get themselves out of this corner they're painted into with Liv would actually be to have Bray show up and help Liv.
No, it's gonna be Sarah Logan now.
Sarah Logan showing up to help Liv?
Yeah, they were friends.
What?
It makes sense.
Kind of, but she's going to be with the Viking Raiders.
There's so many speculation about what's gonna happen on that match. A lot of people are thinking Charlotte. Now you're like there is a lot of different things going into it. I'm telling you, this pay-per-view feels a little bit uncertain. I think it's gonna be fun. If we go by, if Bray Wyatt is teasing, I saw this on Twitter. I can't take credit for this, but teasing all this like Alice in Wonderland White Rabbit style promos, the White Rabbit's clock in Alice in Wonderland was 2 days behind. So if we're going based on that, he might just show up on Raw, and tomorrow is just another,
they're in Philadelphia tomorrow. People will throw.
Yeah, but they're in Brooklyn on Monday. And
yeah,
Brooklyn
people in Philly will light garbage on fire and throw it in the ring if Bray Wyatt doesn't show up.
Sucks to suck. Give it to us in Brooklyn. I'm still biased. Just because I'm not physically there doesn't mean my heart is not there. Okay, Glenn.
Oh, it's been a long evening.
Yes, it has. I'm delirious at this point.
Beat Ricochet in a pretty good match.
Killed him. Murdered him.
Backstage, Sammy talked about taking Solo under his wing, which Jey Uso took offense by. Sammy called him a hothead, and Roman agreed, and they said like Sammy is now like Jey Uso's manager to like manage his temper.
First of all, this was awesome, but Jay kind of was right here when he said we took him under my wing. Like, bro, he's been my brother his whole life. Like, I felt Jey Uso had a valid point here. Did you not?
But in story, okay, in reality, sure, but in story, Sammy and Solo has been the feel-good duo.
Yeah, for like 2 weeks, not however old he is, that the Usos have been dealing with him. Come on.
I don't know. I love Sami Zayn.
Me too. Sammy's killing it.
Then Sammy and the Usos ran into the New Day, who were making fun of the Usos.
This was great.
They said he's not your stepdad, he's the dad that stepped up.
I kind of missed the New Day talking this way. I hadn't seen that in a while from them.
Yeah. This was good, setting up a 6-man tag for later in the evening. Hit Row attacked by Legado del Fantasma, who is not with Elektra Lopez, now with Zelina Vega.
Oof. Do you have mixed feelings about this? Because like I'm so hyped to see Selena with them, and I think it's gonna rock. But I feel like if we don't see Elektra, then they kind of did her dirty.
It's just like, remember when Zelina was managing Andrade and with the stable with Angel? It just feels a little like, I like this pairing, but it does feel a little like lazy how some parts were mixed up here of the members. Like that's the part that I'm like, is this problematic?
Right. I don't know. I'm very happy to see Selena come back. I'm very happy to see Legado del Fantasma on the main roster. We've been waiting for this. It just makes you ponder, like what happened with Elektra? Why isn't she a part of it? Because I did think that Legado carried themselves well, but at the same time, just seeing Selena back in a manager role, which she's so good at. So I feel so like I have a back and forth on this. I thought it was well done. If they're gonna wrestle each other, though, the size difference between B-Fab and Selena is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, because B-Fab is very tall.
No, I think it'll be good, but I also liked what they were doing with Queen Zelina. Yeah, I'm sure this will be great.
Yeah. And they have history. Hit Row feuded with Legado del Fantasma on NXT, so it makes sense.
In fact, wasn't B-Fab's only singles match against Elektra Lopez?
Yes.
Don't know why I remember that.
Because we cover NXT, sir. Otherwise, we will have no idea.
Bigfoot Sneakerhead, what's up? $4.99 saying CM Punk should go. Kenny and the Bucks should be stripped of being VP. Let's go back to wrestling. Wow.
I love it. That's a statement right there. So also Sammy Guevara, but that's a different topic.
Speaking of Kenny Omega, I saw the tease that the Bullet Club is going to be on Impact this week, and I was not aware who was even in the Bullet Club now.
Right.
But with that new guy from the thumbnail, has anyone nicknamed him Kenny Nomega yet? Because very similar look.
Yo.
It's just the first thing that popped into my mind. Sorry.
No, it's funny because I haven't even seen this thumbnail, but I know exactly who you're talking about just based on your comment.
I mean, it does kind of look like like this before your time, but like when the Dukes of Hazzard, when like Bo and Luke left one season, they replaced them with their blonde and brunette cousin. What was it, Cody and Vance? Like they were like, if you're not paying close attention, you probably think it's Bo and Luke. You know, seems very similar. Yeah, very similar what they're doing with the Bullet Club. But let's see. Man, Hit Row versus Legado with Zelina. This will be a good feud. This will absolutely be.
Yeah, it will. And I'm happy to see Zelina Vega back and healthy and blonde.
Yes, she looked fantastic. Legado looks like $1 million, and I hope they do something really different. So we got multiple airings of the White Rabbit video game style commercial tonight. Then we had Raquel Rodriguez and Shotzi versus Sonya Deville and Zia Lee. What did you think?
Very, very random pairing comparing to we just had a women's tag team tournament, and these women's were paired up with someone completely different. So this makes no sense to me. At the same time, Shotzi and Tank being back, that pops me. Raquel is very strong. I just don't think that this match made any sense storyline wise. It was just kind of there.
It's funny when commentary saying the Tank is back. Oh man!
What do you think of the new commentary team? I miss Pat. Every week,
Pat.
But I do like seeing Wade coming up. I really enjoy him on commentary.
Mm-hmm. Pat just has so much energy. Like Pat. Here's what I like about Pat. Pat acts like whatever he's calling is the most important match, like on the card, and that show is the most important WWE show of the year. You know.
Right. He adds that level of importance to the matches to where Pat is just energetic and more on the funny side of things.
That being said, I'm here if we ever have a WWE commentator whose gimmick is that they're just over it and they're like, who cares? And they're just getting facts wrong. And someone corrects them and they're like, who gives a shit?
That's going to be us when we get to the AEW portion of the.
Yeah. It's like kind of like a cooler version of like what JBL was towards the end of just completely not caring. But Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross.
This was intense.
It was, and they strapped it on, or they tried to strap it on. Tomorrow night they're going to strap it on and go at it in the ring.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the visual of Drew coming up from behind when
that was cool.
Karrion Kross was finishing his entrance. Those moments I would always pop for them. This got intense, almost a little too intense. I was like, Karrion Kross, save some for tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. But that was my thought. I was like,
shit out of Drew McIntyre.
So I think this is gonna be a very good match tomorrow.
Me too. And I'm very uncertain about who wins on this. That's what I'm telling you. This pay-per-view doesn't feel very predictable. I think Karrion Kross should win here just because it's his first match back. But the way that they made Drew McIntyre look tonight, and with Karrion Kross having a little bit of a connection to the White Rabbit, I don't know.
Yeah. Promo for the Viking Raiders.
No, it was for Sarah Logan.
Yes. Saying Valhalla awaits. The Viking Raiders pointing out that absence does not equal weakness. And if that is true, my father was a very strong man when I was growing up.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but it's funny.
I've never heard that before.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Daddy Issues podcast.
Yes.
Why do we always end up on the daddy topic? I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Well, I could really go off on this, but we gotta we
You
got a
matter
lot
to
of
me,
wrestling.
and I
fans.
love
Thank
you, and I care about you.
No, I was reading that article today about Herschel Walker in light of the bombshells that have been dropped. Like with his kids, he sends random texts where he's just like, "I love you, I love you, I love you," and his kids trying to start a conversation. There's nothing, and it's like, I swear to God, from my dad, like 3 times a week, like, "Hope all's well. How's it going? How's it going?" If I try and engage, like when I do respond, it's just like there's no conversation. It's like this might be a bot as opposed to my actual father sending me this. Maybe there's a service. Maybe there's a service for negligent dads where it's like we're just going to send random affirmation text to your children, and this would be good for someone's got a lot of kids. You know,
man, bless my dad. I have a great dad. He shows up to my streams every night and leaves a comment in the chat. How crazy! Like how supportive is that? Even though he has no idea what I'm saying because I stream in English.
Are you sure he's not? Doesn't think he's showing up to your sister streams?
No, he's showing up to my stream.
Okay, there you go. Just make it sure.
But I'll never forget about that. Ever.
Sarah Logan coming back. That'll be interesting.
Yeah. SmackDown can use a couple of extra new stars, and we saw some tonight, so I'm excited for it.
We got a hype package for Liv and Ronda. This is the problem. It's like they're hyping that. We need more meaningful women's feuds. They've kind of gone back to having the championship feud, and everything else is just kind of like an exhibition.
Right, agreed.
Which is tough, you know?
Agreed. For the first time, AEW is actually doing that with Saraya and Britt Baker. It looks like they're setting them up on a feud, and there's no title involved there, and I appreciate that. I miss that.
So Sami Zayn was out there with the Usos. The New Day's surprise partner was Braun Strowman.
How exciting.
Everyone in this match was a tag team champion except for Sami Zayn.
Come on, we don't count. Well, did Braun ever win it with anybody other than Nicholas?
One is the one-man team, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
As
soon as Braun came out, I knew the Bloodline was losing.
Oh yeah, and they did the same thing with the infighting and Jay and Sammy and can they
fun match along? Though
it was good though.
It was a very, very fun match. Is this when that Michael Cole got knocked out, or was it on the main event?
Was it in this? I thought no, yeah, this was where he came at Sammy at the table.
Yeah,
this was fun.
Yeah, it was a great match. It was fun overall. I liked the New Day promo earlier. I haven't seen them like that in a while, so it was exciting.
Yeah. Backstage, Max Dupree attacking Marseille Mansois. Telling Maxine not to call him Max anymore. He says he's LA Knight and then walks off, but we have not gotten the answer to the question yet, which is
what?
No. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Okay, take 2. We're going to pretend I didn't do it yet. Okay. So he says he's LA Knight. He walks off, but we have not gotten the answer to the question yet, and that question is why male models? We don't know why was he Max Dupree? Why did he start Maximum Male Models? The mystery remains.
Do you feel like it was a little bit of a burn on Vince McMahon when he said at the end, I'm not sure this was ever for me anyways?
Yeah,
like it felt like that was like a little bit of a hit at the whoever put him in that position. Yeah.
No, it was and that's actually a more interesting story. So people were cheering for LA Knight, but here's the thing, like LA Knight was on NXT when the least people were watching NXT.
Wow, Glenn, way to kill the moment. Like I'm hyped that he's back and you're just like, he doesn't matter.
I think more people would recognize the name Eli Drake than LA Knight.
Yeah, probably.
But we'll see what they do. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
Dylan Matthews, thank you for the super chat. The main event tonight. Bigfoot Sneakerhead, $4.99. Sheamus versus Gunther was amazing. Needs to be in Hell in a Cell or a ladder match. I mean, this isn't going to be it. This match, first off, does Sheamus do like the chest equivalent of blading? Like, how does Sheamus manage to get so much color on his chest when it's
because
time
he's so white?
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the key.
Yeah, the whiter you are, the easier it shows.
It all makes sense.
I really love this match. It wasn't I prefer the first bout compared to this one only because there was a couple of shenanigans that I could have done without.
Hmm.
But I have a feeling they're, I don't know. Do you think they're done? Do they run it again? Because
No.
Gunther is 2-0 at this point.
Yeah,
But he's
Gunther
not. He
tapped.
cheated tonight.
He tapped.
Yeah. How did the ref not see that? Is this an AEW ref?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, got to get Jimmy in there. Dylan's saying, so glad Triple H wasn't treating LA Knight and Max Dupree as two different people. Actually, that might have been kind of clever.
That would have been awesome, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these two men, this was big, meaty man slapping meat at its finest.
Yes. It was
I
a
love
very good match. I think that the 6-man tomorrow will be good, but yeah, this could very easily end in a cage in Hell in a
Yes,
Cell.
and Sheamus continues to deliver banger after banger after banger.
Now, isn't that a sausage in the UK? So, that's actually kind of funny now that I think about it, because bangers and mash, isn't that what a banger is?
I don't know.
Oh shit! I just picked up on that. Yeah, banger is a British sausage.
I had no idea. Wow. Why you keep killing all my fun?
No, that actually makes it more clever that they keep saying we keep delivering banger after banger after banger.
This was fun. These two guys, they just have, I mean, I feel like they put on bangers, not the sausage, against anyone they go against. But I don't know. There's something special every time they face each other.
Yes. And of course, we had Rest of Imperium out there. So the Brawling Brutes came out there, which means we got to see
Butch.
in all of his glory.
Butch.
Terry Allen Jr. pointing out Nigel McGuinness was released. Wish he was at Raw. Yeah, Nigel, I was really surprised.
And Jimmy Smith also.
Yeah. Crazy. Booker is going to be calling
NXT. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I very much got used to that commentary team. So I will see how the difference, what it does for him.
Yeah, it will definitely be different. But no, good main event tonight.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens tomorrow. But
The White Rabbit.
the White Rabbit.
I'm so excited for this. I'm sorry. I just love it. I'm having fun with it. I feel like it's very 50-50. Like some people are like, they need to pay it off already. And some people are like me that are just enjoying it.
Yes.
What do you think, Glenn?
I think that it is. I like that they're experimenting with this, but they're not telling a coherent story. And that frustrates me as someone who has run alternate reality games before and played alternate reality games before, that this is like a little bit of puzzles for the sake of puzzles. Like, I don't think the narrative is accessible enough.
I see what you're saying when you put it that way. I was waiting I would assume it will come out eventually on YouTube or something after they reveal him and they're done. Somebody will put together all of the clues and everything, and then it's gonna probably look messy. But it makes the viewing experience more exciting, just looking for it and like making sure you catch the QR code. It's fun.
Request in the audience from burner account for Issa to say banger again. Here, let me get that on a count of 3. Just give it to me. 1, 2, 3, and
banger.
There we go. Oh, baby, I saying I'm a heel tonight. No, I'm America's sweetheart.
Sure you are, Glenn.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. So let's go with Rampage. Oh, I like this match a lot. Opening up with Black Cool Combat Club, Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio Castagnoli versus Roosh and Private Party.
Roosh.
Yes.
Of course, anything Blackpool Combat Club, I'm gonna enjoy. Like the talent in that group is completely incredible. And then there's Wheeler Yuta, but outside of the talent in that group is fun. I love seeing Rouge, but this was a very, very hot opener, and it was a very hot start of the show. The crowd was hot for it. It felt like a live show. I will give them that. They had a very solid, action-packed start. When you're gonna open the show hitting Moxley's music, come on.
Oh yeah.
Of course, people are gonna go crazy.
Yeah, people were very amped for all of this. So we went right from this to another good match with Josh Woods and Tony Nese versus the Varsity Blondes.
Okay.
Josh Woods and Tony Nese getting that win. And then Mark Sterling announcing that he has trademarked the term varsity and they're going to be the varsity athletes, but they were interrupted by the acclaimed, the ratings draw of AEW.
Yes. Making sure that the show was watchable tonight.
But do you think they're already starting to run it into the ground a little bit? Like they
No,
know that
shut
they've got...
up, Glenn. Did you not watch the National Scissoring segment on Wednesday?
I did.
That was borderline the most wholesome thing I've seen in a while. People were scissoring each other. He says, "Scissor me, Glenn. Glenn, scissor me. Scissor me. Thank you. See? We're friends."
Trying to find the Roosh drop.
Rouge.
Yes. Got it somewhere. I really need to organize these. I have these drops and they're just like date and time, and I've renamed some, but yeah, not enough.
I don't know. I like the acclaim. I see your point, but I did think they saved this segment. I do. Rouge.
There.
They must sound good. Rouge.
It's all in the tongue. So I can't do it. We've discussed before how my tongue is connected in the front of my mouth as opposed to the back of my mouth. And sometimes that creates limitations.
Yeah. Anyways, I feel bad for the varsity blondes. I don't know that they're ever gonna do anything with them. They just show up to lose. Brian Pillman Jr. is so talented, and the other guy, the Jungle Boy wannabe, also like they need to do something with
Jungle Boy wannabe. Maybe Jack Perry can pass the title of Jungle Boy now that he's going to be Jack Perry.
Oh, I now call him Jungle Jack Boy Two Men Perry. That's his name. Because he's growing up, he's not a boy anymore. He's not a boy, not yet a man.
Get that reference.
Yes.
Ty and Anna Jay versus Sky Blue and Madison Rain tonight.
It was not my favorite match of the night, women's wise.
It was fine.
You liked it?
I mean, it was fun. It was quick. Like it was it felt more meaningful in a way than what we saw on SmackDown.
True. Why?
Well, because at least we had an established tag team that had a story.
Well, yeah, I guess Ty Conti and Anna Jay have been together for a while. I do like seeing
part
them
of the Jericho
as
Appreciation Society. And yeah, I thought Sky and Madison were good. Like, yeah, I mean, this was quick, but I wasn't bored during this. Those were good talent showcase. I think with WWE, the problem is, I feel like what WWE does this sometimes. WWE overall does better women's storylines and matches that have stakes and meaning, but they're also very guilty of saying like, I don't know, just go out there and wrestle. Where it's and tonight was one of those where it was just like, yeah, this really didn't advance anything.
Yeah, but I am in agreement with Dylan in the chat. I do find a heel Anna Jay a little awkward. Like she hasn't really, I don't know. I'm giving them a chance because I did like her and Ty together, and I like that they're sticking together. But I don't know. There was just something about this match that I just didn't really feel invested in.
Okay. What about Death Triangle versus the Dark Order for the AEW Trios Championship? And I gotta admit, like Dark Order, I think sometimes, since Brody has passed, the faction hasn't had a lot of direction. Are they comedy? Are they serious? Tonight they were wrestling like a well-oiled machine. It is the 2-year anniversary of Brody's last match in AEW. I thought they should have won this tonight. I get that it's good for Pac and Death Triangle, but I have to say I thought they wrestled a hell of a match tonight, and I would have been very satisfied emotionally had they won.
Yeah, but the problem is that once they made it a trios title, do you really want to pass these titles around a third time in less than a month?
Yeah, because we got to kind of wash the stink off of them.
Yeah, but that's what they gave them to the Triangle for, and for them to lose them in their very first or second title defense. It's just like these are brand new titles, and I personally think the Elite were gonna hang out with these titles for a while. Have what happened not gone down, And I just feel like if you just created these titles and then you just went from the Elite to the Triangle to Dark Order, I mean, and I also couldn't help but to think this was supposed to be Andrade's match, and the
Oh
drama
yeah.
that went down. So, but overall, as you mentioned, the one thing that I noticed is that Dark Order looked great tonight.
Yeah. A lot of good
And
3-man work.
yeah, and you forget how good they are because they just treat them like you said, like you just don't know, are they a comedy, are they a serious, threat or whatever. I thought this was a very, very well wrestled match by all of them. Excuse me.
I think though, right now in wrestling, I feel like there are too many titles that just stay put for such a long time. I
Literally.
think it's the trios title. Who gives a shit? Like it's not. There's no legacy. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
have bothered me.
I-
But
it's
no.
the suspended titles.
Yes. I'm the suspended AEW champion. A lot of competition. That would be amazing if they had like a cinematic match, like somewhere in a parking lot for the suspended AEW championship, and it never gets defended, like on a pay-per-view or even in the arena.
No, you had to be suspended. There's always somebody suspended.
Yeah,
I mean, think
and you
about
could
it. You
have
could have
like
Eddie Kingston, Andrade, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, maybe CM Punk, Ace Steel. There's a lot of people that could be contending for this title.
you could have Andrade show up at CM Punk's home. CM Punk's the suspended champion. Andrade's like, I'm winning that belt.
Instead of the 24/7, AEW has the
Yes.
suspended title and they have to
Suspended.
defend it at home. And that way you can keep the blocks going. Being the Elite could just be all about them not wanting to lose the suspended title.
I'm telling you, like, this is take lemons, make lemonade.
Yeah.
You got to do something. So we went right from that into Battle of the Belts. So
How many
really
people do
like
you think watch Battle of the Belts? Give me
Well-
an early estimate of what you think the number for the viewership is gonna be.
350,000.
That's generous. Okay, I'm gonna say 349,000.
What is this? A fucking Price is Right? Like,
Yes.
you would totally be. I'd be that person on the Price is Right that says $1 because I'm just
Yeah, I
thinking,
know.
yeah.
0.99.
But Pac wrestled Trent Beretta from the Best Friends.
Yeah, Trent Beretta is very good.
He
Very,
is.
very good. This was a fun match. Pac wrestled basically back-to-back matches. Respect. And this all led to we're gonna see Orange Cassidy against Pac again, even though we just saw it 2 weeks ago.
I know. I was just like, this happens like every other week. Yeah. Anyhow, Jade Cargill took on Willow Nightingale for the TBS Championship. And I knew Willow wasn't going to win. I don't think is Willow even signed? I wanted Willow to win. Willow got her first. She got her first AEW TV win as part of that tag match with Absolution 2.0 on Wednesday. But man, I would have liked to see her beat Jade tonight. I love Willow.
She wasn't gonna be it. She wasn't gonna be it. I knew when she got that promo on Wednesday, when Jay was like, "I already beat you twice," and she was like, "Yeah, well, can you do it a third time?" And I'm like, "Yes, she can." Like, Jay Cargill is a star, man. Like the it factor that this girl has all around her, but is it getting stale? They just haven't built anybody for Jay to just kind of like be scared that his streak is gonna end. They had to start building. So I mean, they were doing that with Chris Statlander. I think Jamie Hayter right now has a lot of momentum going for herself. So that could be somebody. I think Jay Cargill could even move on to the main title picture, and that way you can use this TBS title picture for girls like Will Nightingale, like Ruby Soho, some of the girls that we're not seeing get opportunities.
Has Jade beat Abaddon yet?
No, I don't think so. But Abaddon is like 32-2 or something like that on Dark. So why isn't she being? And it's Spooky Month. It makes perfect sense to see her all over TV in October.
I think Abaddon is the most underutilized talent
Yeah.
on AEW television.
No, she's always on Dark. You can see her there.
I don't get it.
Unfortunately.
I don't get it. Such a good character.
Oh yeah, Nia Rose. Nia Rose stole the.
Oh yeah,
freaking-
Vicky came out, caused a distraction. Nyla stole Jade's belt.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, Bernie has a good point. Like, if Willow isn't signed to AEW or Ring of Honor, like NXT should absolutely
Go to Impact. That knockout division is incredible.
Yeah, how many people watch Impact each week though?
I don't know, but the knockout division, they're putting on good matches. Like they're doing.
What
some
channel is
awesome
Impact
things
even
for them.
on?
I don't know, Glenn. Why are you asking me all these questions? It's like almost 1 a.m. here, okay? Can you ask me when I'm more prepared?
I'm just saying, if you had your pick right now to work for any wrestling promotion, Issa, like, and like legitimately, you could work for any promotion, would Impact be your? And I'm not just throwing shade at Impact. I'm just saying, like, you want to be seen by.
I
Like an
definitely will
audience.
pick Impact before AEW right now with a women's division. Yes.
Okay, there you go. So Stokely Hathaway and Matt Hardy face to face backstage.
Is Stokely Hathaway, is he trying to be like the Brad Pitt character in Ocean's 11, always eating something? Have you noticed
Oh,
that?
maybe
On
that's his
Wednesday, he
thing.
was eating an apple. Today, I saw him in the crowd eating. It just gave me flashbacks of that.
Well, you know, Han in the Fast and the Furious series was always eating, and that's because the directors of the detail was that Han had quit smoking, and that's why you always saw him with food.
Oh, makes sense.
I don't know why I know so much Fast and the Furious trivia.
Yeah,
But
you
alas.
should. If they ever do Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Fast and the Furious edition, you should be there.
Hook was backstage with Lexi Nair. The Trustbusters gave Hook an envelope. He tore it up. It could have been a birthday card with a check in it, for all you know, Hook. He didn't care.
Who does that?
Just tears up an envelope.
Yeah, like open it at least. Well,
I've torn up junk mail before without opening it. It's never been anything good. The second that you know what it would be? Here's what I would do. Like, I'm gonna, tear up like a Costco thing, and it's like, oh, hey, it was your rewards check, And I'm like, oh, I thought it was a mailer. Yeah.
I've probably done that.
Yeah. Oh, Costco rewards. Tony Storm. Tony looking a little like Lacey Evans tonight with that hairstyle. A little retro.
Yeah.
For Tony Storm.
Yeah.
Looking good though. With Hikaru Shida addressing Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter ahead of their match. Next
Shida
week.
was mad, huh?
Yes, Shida was mad. Gates of Agony with Princeton and headed to the ring, followed by FTR. We saw the Ass Boys dressed as FTR mocking them.
Oh my god, that was the best part.
What did you think of FTR versus Gates of Agony?
Is that how you think FTR should be booked, Glenn? Honest question.
We've talked about this before. Like, when there are concerts, there are headlining bands, and then there's like the last act of the show.
Right.
And with 2 hours of Friday Night Wrestling after 2 hours of WWE wrestling, like, kind of felt like the last act of the show, which isn't to take away from any of the competitors, but it was just like, man, I was not emotionally and physically like able to it was just too much. It was just too much tonight. I was ready to tap out. By the end of this.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I know that they have 3 belts, but that still doesn't mean that you're being booked strongly, know? And just seeing them just being booked here at the end of Battle of the Belts against a team that not a lot of people are familiar with, it just doesn't seem like they're doing FTR right.
Well, because here's what it is. It's a very indie thing to do. It's like when the Hardys were on their quest for gold. Wrestling TV, in my mind, should be about storylines, feuds, stakes, emotions, developments, and everything around the match that makes the match, like, everything around the match is foreplay and the match is the payoff, right?
Right.
This felt very much like an indie, like, we're just going to go around and wrestle the best teams, which is good. It's good exhibition, but it's not
No, it's AEW avoiding putting them in the title picture right now. And
Yeah.
I get it because the Acclaim is very over.
It is true. I've
I
heard
don't know.
everybody loves the Acclaimed.
Yeah, it's not a thing, it's a fact.
Yeah.
It's a fact. But I mean the match was great. FTR is always
Very good
great. Like
match.
when do they not wrestle a good match? Like and at the end everybody came out and we got to see Wardlow, which I always appreciate. Samoa Joe came out. It's just like the every main event of AEW Dynamite ends the same way. A bunch of people come out running and they all start beating each other up.
I think it's kind of like going to a Bruce Springsteen concert in the sense where it's like, this is really good, but I don't know that I can take 3 hours of this. Like
I felt like
after
the 2
two,
hours
I'm like,
of
I'm good, you know?
I felt like the 2 hours of AEW gave me house show vibes. It was fun. There was a lot of good wrestling.
And it was live. I have to give it to him that it was live. That also
did any
really
of
helped.
it matter? Not really.
Well, where's the belt? Nyla stole the belt.
Oh yeah, but no titles change hands. Like you know what I mean? Like it just felt very like
If
even
Willow
having the
would've won
Acclaim just
tonight-
come out. Even having just the Acclaim come out for the pop, they tell me that didn't feel very house showy.
Yeah, it felt. If that's why I'm saying like they have to watch it with the Acclaimed, because if they overdo this, it's like things get stale in wrestling. Very like they don't always get stale very quickly, but when they do get stale, it's not like it goes from a 10 to a 5. It goes from a 10 to a 1.
Right. Yeah,
You know?
I don't know. And maybe there's a little bit of like it's so late. We just watched SmackDown, but it just didn't feel like do I have to tell like I told you how I always base it. And it's the same with SmackDown actually. If you not watch, did you miss something that is must watch before you watch the next show? You know, in SmackDown, I did think that with the whole Drew and Karrion Kross interaction and the White Rabbit stuff. But outside of setting up some matches, nothing that happened. I will tell you, you have to watch before you tune into Wednesday night Dynamites.
Yeah. But here's
So
my question.
even with it being live, Rampage still felt the same. And Battle of the Belts hasn't felt important since like the first one.
I mean, here's my question. You go to see Bruce Springsteen live, and he's going to play Dancing in the Dark. He's going to play some of the hits. But like when you get to the third 10-minute saxophone solo in the middle of the show, like you don't want to leave because you want to hear Born to Run, but you might want to go to the bar. You might want to go get a pretzel, you know, and you're like, I'm not going to leave, but I kind of need a little bit of a break. This is a little too much, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Kind of like that sometimes.
Yeah, it was one of those nights where they just burn you out with so much wrestling, especially if you were also keeping tabs up Bound for Glory.
Oh my God.
We have Extreme Rules tomorrow. So, I mean, today for me, because, you know,
you're living in the future.
Yeah. Do you want any information? Do you want me to tell you who won the Mets game? Can you bet on it still?
When I was a kid, because of like time difference delays, I did think that once when we moved to California, I was like, I could call a friend on the East Coast. He could tell me what happened in the game, and then I could bet on it. And I didn't realize those things were shown live simulcast most of the time. So then I changed it. And I'd be like, I'm going to call my friend on the East Coast. He's going to tell me what happens on Knight Rider tonight. And then I'm going to bet my friend what's going to happen on Knight Rider tonight in the West Coast airing. I'm going to make hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a very unique child.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I used to think there was gas stations on the clouds and planes stop for gas.
You know, you can refuel a plane in midair.
Yeah, I know, but I used to think there was actual like rest stops.
For her account, Glenn was 21 years old at the time. No. 7, maybe 6 or 7.
He still does it.
Yeah, I still do it. So. But okay, so after FTR won, Gates of Agony beat them down. Brian Cage ran out. Wardlow ran out. Samoa Joe ran out. Like,
I gotta talk about Brian Cage. Like, you can only pick a crazy haircut or a crazy beard. I think the combination of both things is very distracting.
I think, look, I'll say Karrion Kross looked better with a bald head.
No,
with a shaved head. Yeah,
no,
Karrion Kross was way more menacing.
Nope.
You don't think so?
Karrion Kross with hair all the way.
Okay. Interesting. We are polarized. Let's do some Extreme Rules 2022 predictions for tomorrow night.
Let's. Can't wait to see how we disagree on everything. First of all, who is the White Rabbit, Glenn?
I kind of want it to be Joe Gacy. It's not, but I kind of want it to be Joe Gacy.
Why are you so evil?
I want it to be Joe Gacy, and I want him to say that the Fiend, the spirit of the Fiend, has inhabited him. That would be the most.
It's gonna be Eva Marie.
Oh my god! As Evil Marie. Oh my god!
He's gonna show up in a Playboy bunny.
Yes, with black hair, because now she's Evil Marie.
Oh my god! Stop! It's definitely Bray.
Yeah, it's Bray.
Butch. All right, let's do predictions.
Okay. Liv Morgan, who literally down since day one in NXT wrestling under her own name. I've been a fan of Liv Morgan. I fear is going to get killed by Ronda Rousey tomorrow.
As she is, I have Ronda Rousey. You have Liv, right?
I want it to be Liv. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Sarah Logan shows up and helps her.
The fact that you can even say it shows you how confident you are on Liv Morgan.
I know. I'm trying to think. I mean, maybe Bray shows up. Maybe Enzo comes back, and maybe they've reconciled, and Enzo helps her.
Okay, I'm still gonna say Ronda.
Okay, Ronda's probably winning. Matt Riddle versus Seth freaking Rollins in the fight pit with Daniel Cormier as the special guest referee.
I have so many thoughts about this match. I feel like I'm gonna say Seth Rollins, right?
Okay.
I feel like you can set up a Daniel Cormier against Matt Riddle in Saudi Arabia just because they were both in UFC. Maybe Brock Lesnar shows up and we finally see Cormier versus Lesnar, but in WWE. I have a lot of thoughts here, but I'm gonna say Rollins just because we already announced a title match for him on Monday. I don't think it'll make sense that he'll go for the United States Championship after losing. So because of that, I'm saying Rollins.
Man, a year or two ago with the heat between Riddle and Rollins, this would have been insane.
There's even worse now. Have you not been seeing their promos?
Yeah, but that's I want real behind the scenes.
There's real behind the scenes things being said.
Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross are going to strap it on in a strap match.
Stop saying that. It makes me uncomfortable.
Why does that make you uncomfortable? You strap on a strap. It's called a strap. You strap it on.
My dog is listening, okay? I'm going to say Karrion Kross. It's his first match back, so he should probably win here. What about you, Glenn?
Nah, but I worry about Drew, man. I mean, he got that last loss.
Yeah, exactly. So what's another one?
Fine. It's true. Okay. Bianca Belair versus Bayley ladder match for the Raw Women's Championship.
Bayley.
Damn. Okay.
You don't think Bayley wins?
I mean, I'd like to see Bianca win, but no. Bayley's got a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
What about Edge versus Finn Balor with Judgment Day in an I Quit match?
Edge barely ever loses, if ever. However, if I go by the dirt sheets, there's some rumors that there's a big push in store for Finn. I also feel like, hear me out, because the one thing that I gone back and forward here is who does the Bray feuds with if he was to come back, right? You can't put him in a main event picture right away. Who is a credible baby face that Bray could go against? And I keep thinking that's Edge. You know, I think Edge and Bray will be interesting. I'm going to say Finn Balor. Besides Judgment, they have been losing a lot of matches also.
With Finn, though, man, you know, Bray versus the Fiend versus the Demon.
Yeah, but they already did their feud,
I know, but
so maybe save it for later.
Yeah, I know. No, you're right. You're right.
I don't want to see Bray come back to redeem feuds that we saw kind of kill the Fiend. Okay. I want to see him stay away from that, like Seth Rollins. I don't want to see him go against Seth Rollins anytime soon.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say Finn wins here. Listen, think about it. What if Rhea Ripley, is punishing Beth Phoenix, and that makes Edge says I quit? Maybe the White Rabbit is not even involved here, and it's something completely different.
Okay.
Anyways, I'm gonna say Finn Balor.
What about Brawling Brutes, Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and
Butch.
Brawling Brutes.
versus
We need
Imperium?
revenge from tonight.
Yeah,
we need
they're gonna get
revenge from
revenge.
tonight.
Yeah, I agree.
Butch.
That is gonna happen. Butch.
Who do you have on
Butch.
Edge versus Finn?
I think your point about Edge makes sense,
Okay. Wow, I'm
Um,
so proud of myself.
but maybe Finn. Yeah, I'm gonna tune in tomorrow. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when I'm gonna tune in because I'm not covering it, but I'm gonna tune in.
Well, I'm covering it.
But yeah. So how do you do this, Issa? How do you have this stamina?
A lot of caffeine.
It's not working as well for me anymore, even with the energy drinks
Yeah,
and the coffee.
It's mostly like the gym. Like I go to the gym and that gets me all hyped up. But then when I get done, like literally when we finish and I like turn the lights off, I am like done.
Hmm.
Like I feel like there's some kind of level of adrenaline when I'm here talking, but as soon as like I hit end live, I like die. Like I fall asleep
Yeah.
fully dressed 90% of the nights that I'm streaming because I'm so exhausted.
There you go. There you have it. Well, tomorrow.
It'll be me, Justin Labar, and Jimmy Corderas.
Nice. That'll be a fun panel. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. It's a long night of wrestling.
It was.
Follow Issa at NYC Demon Diva. That's Diva with a 1. Follow me, Glenn Rubenstein. Go back and watch NXT the other night with the Byron Saxton Alfred exchange.
It was the best. There's a shorter clip of it on my Twitter if you guys want to see it.
Yeah, really walked into that and owned myself with that one.
I can't believe you said that. I laughed immediately.
The context made sense.
You said it so innocently, though, and you didn't realize me and Alfred were already gone with that comment. This is why I love the three of us. We really have to get together and do like an in-person thing eventually.
It'll happen eventually.
It will.
So everybody have a great weekend.
Rouge.
And we will get you back here next time on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care. Happy Extreme Rules. See you next time.